Hello, welcome to this video tutorial series. In these tutorials, I'll be going over how to essentially create a simulation to analyze what buildings are most viewed from the perspective of passengers on a train as they pass through by these buildings. And to do this, we'll be doing this in 3ds Max using the Tyflow plugin. So at the moment, I've got sort of the buildings that I want to analyze and the railway, so the path of the train that the train will be following. To begin, I'll start by modeling essentially the train. So I'm just going to use a box to act as our train. So up here, build in a box. And then I'll go to the modifiers and adjust the size a bit. So I'll make the length about 42, width about 14, and height 12. So obviously this is not the real size of the train, but this will essentially act as our berthing surface. So the particles that represent the passenger's views, will be berthed from this box. So to begin, I want to essentially get this box to travel along this pink path, which is the train track. To do this, you can select the box and go up here into motion. And here we want to essentially change this position. So once you select this position, it's currently set to position XYZ. Once you select it, this becomes selectable and we can assign a controller. And we want to use a path constraint. And click OK. And here under path parameters, we want to add path and select this as our path. So now it's a little bit awkward. We can just select follow, and we don't want it to follow this way, we want it to follow lengthwise, so we can select the Y direction. So now if we play through our timeline, we can see the train follows this path. Cool, now we're ready to start actually using our train to berth surfaces. So to do this, we'll want to bring in a Tyflow component. So just click and drag that somewhere. Now that we have that, we can select Tyflow and go into Open Editor. And here we can start to set up our events. So firstly, of course, we're going to need to start berthing objects. To do this, we can simply select this berth and drag it in. And now we have an event with a berth. And we now want to tell Tyflow we want to berth from these faces. To do that, we can click here and then click on the tab, and now you'll be able to type into search your components. So I'm going to search for position object. Okay. And now the position that we want is this train. So we can select pick and pick our train. Now you can see some of these particles have been berthed from this. If we just change the display, let's use, for example, large dots and drag our timeline along, you can see our train starts berthing these particles. So now I do not want them to just stick behind the train, I want them to actually project outwards from the train. To do this, again, we'll click down here, click tab, and we want to add a speed. And so now we have a speed. I would like it to be random 3D, that's good, but you can also choose whether you want random horizontal or whatever type of direction you'd like. So now if we continue playing that, we can see these particles move out. However, they seem to be moving quite slowly. So the magnitude, I'm going to turn this up to 6. And now we can see these particles move a lot quicker. I would also like more particles to be birthed. So to do this, we can go into birth and increase the amount. I'm going to increase it by quite a lot. I'm going to set it to 10,000. There, now we have many particles. In the next tutorial, we'll go over the next event for this simulation.